Taurus. Hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late January 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Taurus collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for Taurus in late January 2026? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Taurus. Late January, it's Aquarius season at the time of this filming. Let's see what the vibe is for my good friends. Let's get this card out nice and quick. Usually your cards pop out within the first shuffle or two, so it's being a little more specific than normal. Okay, cool. This is an energy I do see for you guys from time to time. It is very much a lay low, mind my own business type of energy, which I think is cool. I think I saw it in the Leo reading this week as well, but I just think the card is beautiful. It has a couple of other meanings as well, but notice how she's like kind of blending in with the crowd. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the January subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So as you can see, we have this lovely lady here. She's got the wig on and she has like that big bird beak going. So she's dressed up in costume and she is amongst this little group of cranes or storks. I'm not sure what species it is. Maybe some of you bird watchers know. But yeah, I don't know what she's doing, but what I do know is she's blending in. She's kind of laying low. So for a lot of Tauruses, maybe that's just the vibe you're in right now. Just I'm in my own lane, minding my own business, doing my own thing. The energy is very quiet. Now, again, for some of you, this could be someone you're connected to where they might be a little more quiet than normal, or it's just like, I'm not trying to make waves. I'm trying to move smoothly through something. So for another portion of you, there might be situations that you're navigating in a bit more of a passive way, or somebody is when this card is here. Now, if we take all that staying in one's own lane and put it to the side, I do think this card is very beautiful and it can speak about aesthetics. And Taurus ruled by Venus, sometimes aesthetics can be very important. So I wouldn't be surprised if some of you might be changing something about your look in the short term, whether it's like your wardrobe, how you present yourself. There's something here about appearances and potentially changing them. So yeah, we're just going to put her down right there. It's a beautiful energy, beautiful card, but we're just going to let her chill out. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for Taurus and see what we got. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. So the energy last week was pretty nice, if I do say so myself. So hopefully something good happened for you. But the reading was titled Exciting News Incoming. So for some of you, whether it was a pleasant surprise or talking to someone you want to talk to, could have been work related. To me, it was like, oh, all right, cool. I'm happy about this. I have a conversation. I'm happy about what I heard. So if that hasn't happened yet, that could still bleed over for a couple of weeks. Keep that in mind. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for Taurus in late January. What's happening? What is happening for my good friends? Thank you. Cool. 6 of Pentacles. Nice. It's a pretty good way to start, especially with it being like your comfort zone type of element here with the 6 of Pentacles. I like it. Let's get a couple more. Let's hope that energy still holds up, because that energy, either it is like a very equal type of vibe or it's giving. It's like putting energy out. That's the big thing. All right, 6 of Swords right next to it. Maybe this is something improving. Okay, let's get one more. I just like the flow. And obviously we have the repeating 6s, so that's something we'll keep an eye on throughout the reading. And we got our good pal here, Mr. King of Wands. So I like the way the energy is presenting itself to me initially. And we're just going to keep an eye on it all as we move forward. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But yeah, first look, first glance. I always like to look at the elements that informs us the areas of life that might be highlighted or how energy is moving. So we do have like this little yin yang type of vibe going on here in the front, which is like things balancing each other out. But we have earth, air, and fire. Nice mixture of stuff. So for some Tauruses, this could be different situations or different aspects to the same thing. The one thing I like by first appearance, it seems to be the energy is in motion. But yeah, earth, that's feelings of security and stability. It's predictable. It's a very good energy for anything material world. So think work, business, money acquisition, investment, stuff like that. It could also deal with the home and family and living situations. The downside to Earth, sometimes it could be a little too slow. Sometimes it might be a little smothering. So I'm not sure if any of you feel like cornered by anything. But usually Taurus functions well with Earth energy. Moving to the middle, we have air, which is the total opposite, whereas this one is like slower mover, more stable. The air could be all over the place. Now, air energy could represent the thought process, the mind, information, acquisition, and stuff like that. It's very pragmatic, it's very logical, and it could represent plans and strategy. Communication as well, so it could be some sort of conversation or message. But a big thing with swords is that whereas the earth is very predictable and slow moving, the swords are flighty, a little flaky, a little here, there, and everywhere, so they can move quick. And the downside to swords is they could be a little detached or cold. Then here on the back end we have fire. Great, that's a very passionate, fiery type of energy. And when I see fire, I think of the actions that we take, actions other people take, actions we decide not to take. Think of your internal combustion, your passion, your drive, your motivation, your vitality. That's usually great. But the downside to fire is that it could be very unpredictable, right? It could be a little explosive, especially next to an air element. So we're going to want to see there's a lot of action, a lot of energy flowing. Let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we start with what should be a pretty comfortable card for the Taurus Collective or Cross Watchers, Six of Pentacles. And we see this individual there. He's got his scales, which can be a small karmic type of vibe in the undertone. And notice he's given those pentacles out. This is a very charitable, giving type of energy that we pick up here in the front. So for some of you, if this speaks about money, yeah, this is spending, right? This is opening up the wallet, so to speak, when we have the Six of Pentacles, but not necessarily in a bad way. Whether you are literally being charitable, hey, maybe you're helping someone out. This is also a big card of assistance, whether we're giving it or whether we're receiving it. It's a huge card for help and assistance. So I do like it. It could just represent equal effort too, where it's like, all right, well, I put in this effort and they hold up their end of the bargain in its best case scenario. And it could also be balanced. But the downside to the Six of Pentacles is sometimes it could be like, all right, I'm doing too much, or I'm putting too much effort in and this person's not doing enough. It's like the energies aren't meeting in the middle. And sometimes this card could show up when we're overdoing it, when we're overextending ourselves or doing too much. So that's just something to keep an eye on as we move further. And it could just represent imbalance. Now, moving to the middle, and yeah, it is also one of my cards of gift giving. I know we're nowhere close to Taurus season, but there's something here about gift giving. Now, moving to the center, we have the Six of Swords, and I usually like this in its most classic form. We see these individuals, they're in a boat, they're being ferried across a body of water, and to me, I would say it's improvement. It's coming out of something choppy into something calm. So, like when we go from this Six of Pentacles into the Six of Swords, it's like, all right, things seem to be flattening out or mellowing out or calming down. That could be really good, especially if you're in that lay low mode. This could also represent distance and travel. So if you're planning a trip or something, especially with the opening of the wallet, hey, that could just be it that we're seeing right here. But the downside to the Six of Swords, sometimes it could be a little forgetful. Sometimes this could be an energy that abandons things or forgets about them. It could be, yeah, it's like, oh no, I didn't even think about it. Sometimes it could be an energy that, it doesn't do what it's supposed to do. So there is an energy here where it's like, all right, well, we made a bargain and you're not holding up to your end. Again, I'm not saying that for every Taurus, but it's like we made an agreement. What's going on here? And I don't want to get too specific, but this could be good. Again, we have both double sixes. These are both action cards, and it could be great. Now, moving to the back end, we do have the King of Wands himself. For some of you, this could be a fire sign you're connected to. Remember, it's not gender specific. And whenever I see kings in tarot, to me, they represent control of their suit. So we already spoke about it. It's fiery, it's passion, it represents actions. So the King of Wands, to me, I'm directing where I put my energy. Am I wasting my energy? Am I putting too much energy into this? Am I not putting enough energy into that? That's a big thing with this King of Wands, not wasting your energy and conserving it. Um, it could also be very entrepreneurial and outgoing. This is definitely action oriented, where it's like, no, I'm going to do something. If I say it, I'm going to do it. But the downside to the King of Wands is the fact that, yeah, it could be very unpredictable, where it says one thing, but then does another. So, like, especially with this bargaining energy that I'm picking up for some of you, and then we have the King of Wands. Hopefully, this isn't somebody telling you something and then not doing it, or making a promise and then not following through. But it could be great. This could be good focused energy for a lot of you. But I want to dive deeper on all of it, Taurus. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for my friends. What do we got? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on the Six of Pentacles. And yeah, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Taurus, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, why is that Six of Pentacles here? Who is giving what? What is going on here? Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, it's great energy to me. So big karmic vibes, huge karmic vibes. Um, I'm going to give you the first thing I thought, which to me is like somewhat of a breakthrough type of energy, but then it was quickly followed by this energy of the universe balancing the scales, the universe making something right. Now, I'm a big believer that in life we have to take action. Sometimes, if there's results we want, we have to meet the universe halfway. So that maybe that's where some of this energy is coming from. But like when I see the Six of Pentacles, karmic card with judgment, this could spirit kind of, it could be spirit telling some of you Taurus is like, listen, don't worry, like this will shake out how it needs to shake out. It's like karma getting served up. Now karma isn't always a bad thing, right? I know we hear it in popular culture and a lot of different spiritual places. We think karma is a bad thing, right? Like, oh no, that means I'm going to get punished, and it can be that for sure. But at the same time, it can also be rewards as well. It depends on what you're putting out into the world. It depends on what other people are putting out into the world. But when I see Six of Pentacles with judgment in the upright, it's like the universe balancing the scales and serving up a hot dose of karma. That's what it is. And you may witness it. You may not. Maybe you're in this balancing mode where maybe you've been going through some stuff or things have been dry. It's like, no, I'm just letting things balance out. Because that's kind of the vibe I'm getting. Like, I'm putting it in the universe's hands. I'm not giving up, but I'm releasing control. Does that make sense? We're going to keep going. So we do have this karmic energy getting served up on a hot platter. Let's go in on that Six of Swords. Let's see what's up with that. Yeah, especially with the repeating sixes too. So why is the Six of Swords here for Taurus? Really want to get over to that King of Wands now too. And another karmic card, my friends. Revisiting something. Okay, so we have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse underneath the Six of Swords. I've been seeing this for a few signs sprinkled around through recent weeks where it's like, all right, well, there is something where you might be able to give it another look, or there might be something where you might be able to revisit it. And that doesn't always mean a personal relationship or a connection. Sometimes revisiting could be anything. Maybe it's an old business idea you had. Maybe it's a hobby that you had to put down and you're going to restart it. But this to me is now a karmic return. So it's like we have all this universal energy happening where it's like the universe balancing the scales and setting things right and doing this and doing that. And then we have the Six of Swords with the Seven of Pentacles in reverse where it's like, okay, this feels like it's going easy. Like things are just lining up for me. So the main thing I feel here in the middle is either a process or something that smooths out and goes easy for you, where it's like, I barely even have to try. I wish it was this easy last time. But for another portion of you, it's a return or a revisiting of something in a big way. So just keep that in mind, because remember, the Seven of Pentacles, it is a card of reaping what you sow, but it is also a card of patience. So yeah, when I see it in reverse, it's like, no, the energy's flowing, the energy's moving. Let's go in on the King of Wands. I don't know why you're so karmic heavy this week. And it could just be big picture. Listen, I try not to get too bogged down in the verbiage and karmic this, karmic that, because there are people that could write books about this type of stuff, right? Let's keep going, though. Let's see what's up with the King of Wands. but it's there. Like there's this strong universal spiritual undertone showing up here. I like the balancing act in the front. But let's see why the King of Wands is here for you, Taurus. Things will go how they're supposed to go. Things will balance out. Two of Wands. Yeah, all right. So we have the Two of Wands in the upright. This is an energy that's waiting for the perfect time. It's an energy that's waiting for the right time to act, the perfect time to pounce, so to speak. And I don't say that in a way to try to make you nervous or anything like that. But remember, the King of Wands controls his action. The Two of Wands is all about planning. It's all about decision making, looking into the future. So it's like I'm holding, I'm waiting for the perfect time. Not yet, not yet, not yet. Now, boom. It's giving me something like that. So for some of you, that could be advice from Spirit. Maybe there's certain things you're dealing with where Spirit's like, all right, well, not yet. Let me do what I do. You'll know when it's time for something. You'll know when it's time to act. That's just how it should. Like when whether you need to step in, whether you need to act, whether you need to make a move, just hold. Plan for the future, plan for it, but hold. That's the big vibe I'm picking up here. Um, and again, it doesn't have to be a bad thing. Remember, this could all be good stuff for a lot of you. It really depends on the situation and people you're dealing with. But let's go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadow. If you kindly look in the box position number one, we got the Six of Pentacles with Judgment in the upright. And to me, this is the universe balancing something out, making something right. And that could just be a little affirmation for you where the universe might be speaking through the reading like, hey, listen, Taurus, I'm going to make it right. We're going to balance this out. Things are going to go how they need to go. So it does feel like karma getting served up on a nice platter, like breakfast. So moving to the center, we have the Six of Swords with the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. And again, I did feel like this run end could be a breakthrough of some kind too. So keep that in mind. But in the center, the Six of Swords with the Seven of Pentacles, I'm revisiting something, or I'm going to have the chance to return or revisit something from the past. That's the vibe. So again, it depends on what it is and the situation you're wanting to revisit. But I see it here. For another portion of you, it's like, it's easier this time around, or there's just something where like I wish it was this easy then. There's something about giving something another go, but it being much easier. Onto the back end, we have the King of Wands with the Two of Wands in the upright. And to me, it is planned out, it is strategic, but to me, it feels like somebody waiting on the proper time to pounce or make a move. That's the big energy. It's like hold, hold, hold now. And then boom, it does something. So whether that's advice, whether that's going to be you, who knows? It depends on your situation, but it does make the right move at the right time, especially with all this karmic energy, and you'll know. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for Taurus. What do we got? And yeah, I always like to pull one of these at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this shadow card out. Let's see what we see for my good Taurus friends. What's in the shadows? Cool. Yeah, another karmic card. Okay, so we have the Wheel of Fortune. It's one of my favorite cards in the whole entire deck. And I always say, even though we're looking at the shadows, this is a card of luck to me. I always think of like a lucky break. Sometimes it could be risk taking, but I just love it. I always feel it's like, oh yeah, I'm gambling here, or I'm gonna make a move, or something just lines up perfectly for me. But just to fit it in with the rest of the reading we have here, this is a card of karmic cycles, or the universe working for us. So I always think that this is a very good card to have. Now, what might be the shadow side of the Wheel of Fortune? Sometimes it can represent situations that are out of our hands. Sometimes it can represent situations where there's not much we can do physically in the moment. And it could also represent an energy that happens quick. It's an energy that happens very fast, very sudden. So just watch out for any situations that pop off like that. But for the vast majority of you, this could be a really great, supportive, lucky energy. Just watch out for your risk taking in this time. You might be a little more daring. So we're going to let that chill right there, Taurus. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the January subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation, or if you'd like to see what 2026 has in store for you, you can book a personal reading with me at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The January schedule's already up, so you could go check it out and see what's available. It's going quick, but for the January subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies of one of my favorite decks, the Everyday Witches Tarot. It's absolutely adorable and is great for readers of all skill levels. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments from today's reading which card spoke to you the most. Even if the reading didn't quite hit, which card was giving you those warm and fuzzies or really caught your attention. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.